for my hair to grow back long.
Uh, your hair, my hair. Look how dark my hair is
I
now.
know. That
I
was the surprise for everybody. But here's the trick, everybody. Her hair is not actually that dark. It's more red.
it's
It's just she's got
very
crappy lighting
red.
right now. And
Yes,
she's so like we're the foxes in the fox den, and we're both redheads. Thank you
yeah.
very
My hair is
much.
almost as red as hers. It's just that I don't have. I have like shaded lighting, so
She
you
got
can't
crappy
really see
lighting.
it. I was showing Mama with my cell phone. I'll post pictures after because it is really red. It's not this. Like I don't know if I back up, maybe you can see more of how red it is.
You see it in the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's and out in the sunlight, it's just like hers. It's really red.
We're gonna go to events together, just mess with
Yeah.
people real bad.
So since this show is about light, I need more light, right?
There you go.
But we are talking about scalar energy today. So let me play Tom's video, and he's going to be with us. And I'm sure you guys are going to have some questions, and I know I have a lot of questions about this scalar energy. This week in the Foxden with Gina B and Mama D, we have Tom Paladino. He began research with scalar energy during his undergraduate years, inspired by various scientists, especially Nikola Tesla, the genius who invented alternating current. He was curious to learn more about the existence of an energy that was not of the electromagnetic spectrum. He pursued a course of independent study in order to better understand and subsequently harness scalar energy, as this emerging science is not taught at the university level. One of his scientific predecessors was T. Galen Hieronymus, a resident of Georgia and one of the few scalar energy researchers in the United States in the last century. After Galen's death, Tom was given access to the researcher's notes and his instruments, leading him to theorize that all energy in the universe initiates as scalar energy. Scalar energy provides order in the universe. Based on these theories, Tom was able to develop scalar energy instruments capable of harnessing and transmitting instructive energy to heal human subjects remotely. Think of this as similar to a radio broadcast with his instruments as the broadcaster and your body as the receiver. The difference is that the energy transmitted is not electromagnetic and is therefore immeasurable by traditional science. Tom's instruments provide a remote, fast, harmless, and painless treatment process that has successfully healed patients with HIV/AIDS, herpes, hepatitis, Lyme disease, and over 400,000 pathogens that cause disease. They administer the scalar energy reverse phase angle harmonic of a pathogen, thereby causing that agent of infection to disassemble or fall apart. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoan can all be disassembled, representing a cure for thousands of diseases. Once the causative agent of a pathogen disease has been eliminated, the symptoms associated with that infection decrease or disappear altogether. You can experience this for yourself since Tom makes available a 15-day free scalar light regimen to anyone on the scalarlight.com homepage. And we welcome you to the Foxden. Tom. Now that was a lot of information, and I think a lot of people to try to fathom and understand. But this is why we have the show, so we
Yep.
can ask the questions and we can understand what scalar energy is. And welcome, Tom.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction.
Welcome,
Oh,
Tom.
you're
Nice to
very
see you again.
Yes, Mama D. Yes, indeed. Likewise.
right. See, he was on Mama D's. What was it, Angel Meadows? Then
Yeah, a conversation with friends, I believe. And there's everybody. Just everybody's going to have a lot of questions about this, and everybody have patience. We'll get to them. And remember, this is something new and exciting, and you're going to be wowed.
yeah.
So just
All right. So
your
so
butts were there.
we can always start at the beginning and where does scalar energy originate and describe its nature. Basically, what is scalar energy?
We're going to discuss scalar energy, which is not electricity. Now, many people have come to the realization that there's two energies, scalar energy and electromagnetic energy. Well, we are all familiar with the electromagnetic instruments, devices in our home. There's another energy out there, scalar energy. It's from the sun and the stars. Nikola Tesla was the first man to harness scalar energy. And I see great promise in this new technology. Scalar energy is a technology that offers to mankind free, clean energy.
And isn't that what the world is all about right now?
Yep.
So, I mean, we should be tapping into these types of resources, but I know you would be, even if you came out with all this stuff and mounds and mounds and mounds of papers, I would say all the big moguls, of like oil companies and electric companies would squat like a bug because they don't want that out there. However, this should be and hopefully will be like the wave of the future. And so, all right, so but do explain, okay, what is the difference between scalar and electromagnetic?
I believe the initial energy of the universe is scalar energy. It's the primal energy, it's the primal force of everything. And electricity is simply a derivative. It's the secondary energy, if you will. So I would much rather go back to the primary energy of the universe because it offers greater control. It is so versatile. You can use it in so many applications. So I frequently say whatever we've accomplished with electricity, we can accomplish much more with scalar energy at pennies on the dollar. Keep in mind, if my theory is correct, that scalar energy is from the stars, that's free energy. That in and of itself represents the new energy model. You don't need to drill for gas. You don't need to dig for coal. You simply capture star energy, which is everywhere.
Right, because I used to always say, like the solution's in the ocean, because we're 3/4 ocean. I'm like, well, maybe it's because of the energy of the waves. If we can do a tide chart for, how long out a tide chart can go. I mean, you already know when the tide's coming in, when it's going out, the currents, the things. So if this is another, way of energy, and it's there, it's now you got to harness it. So now you came up with, now let me get this picture up here of your device that you made. I got a whole bunch of pictures up here to show you guys. There it is. All right, so this is the device that you made.
Yes.
Explain what is it doing? What is this?
That's a good point. If you look at the top right-hand side, that's a vacuum tube. And why do we use vacuum tubes? That vacuum tube sets up a dimension. It's not what I would consider solid state. It's not a computer chip. So you have to recreate the universe. That in and of itself is a miniature star. So we need depth to that. And that's what the vacuum tube represents. My predecessors would always use a vacuum tube, which introduces or imitates nature. That vacuum tube is the beginning of the miniature star, so to speak. So we are working with nature. We're, if you will, duplicating nature. The vacuum tube on the top right is in essence the ability of a scalar energy instrument to set up a double helix, which is essentially the composition, the form of a scalar wave. And then we drive that energy into an oscillator. We pulse it in the very center. That's an oscillator, whereby we start pulsing that energy. And then to the very left, you see those 4 wires leading into a Tesla coil. And by that time, we have scalar energy, and it is sent into that Tesla coil, then ready to broadcast, if you will, or to initiate a scalar energy environment.
Okay, and that is how you're able. Now, this is just a light bulb you're holding near the device, and it's turning on.
Yes. Now that goes back to my theory of free energy. That
Right.
is a scalar energy instrument. That room is filled with scalar energy. And you can see I'm holding fluorescent light bulbs close to the instrument, and the fluorescent light bulbs illuminate.
Yeah.
Okay, under the influence of scalar energy. So that's the free energy of the stars. So instead of having to power those light bulbs, instead of having to plug those light bulbs into a wall socket, the energy is everywhere. It's ambient. And I simply tap into that star energy and I can illuminate objects. Now, I can do that locally with my instrument. That's free energy. Can I do that at a distance? Not yet. If I can, I will solve the energy crisis.
Right. But like, so say even every house had to have like a generator type thing, right? Like, we have our meters, we have our boxes, we have all our things, that collect or give our energy. So same thing, right? So now if you had that device that you would somehow create,
Yes.
and then you tap into the big universal, so you'd have to have like a big hub and all the things. And this just brings back all these old movies to me, like of Edison coming out with the light bulbs and everything, saying, "No, you just gotta do this," and it's. I mean, this is how it starts. This is it. It starts from an idea. An idea starts to an experiment. The experiment works. So now. Okay, so now here you are. Okay, you create this thing. You're harnessing this energy. Now, how did you come to realize that this energy can be used for healing?
Yeah. Well, it's instructive. Scalar energy serves as the instructions of the universe. And I always theorize that disease patterns carry instructions. So if I looked at a disease pattern and I could negate that scalar energy pattern, that scalar energy signal, I could negate disease. So everything in the universe has instructions, and it's a, if you will, a specific scalar energy instruction behind disease. And I've perfected the ability to take a microbe, a virus, a bacterium, a protozoan. I can understand its signature, its scalar energy signature, and then break down the molecular bonds that hold together a microbe. Now, I have to accentuate all of my work is non-physical. And when I'm working with people, I work with people in the quantum field. I'm going to hold up my photograph. People send me photographs, and I actually place a photograph inside a scalar energy instrument. So the point I'm making is this. We don't work with flesh and blood. We work with non-physical reality, which are instructions. And I send instructions into the quantum field by way of a person's photograph. My photograph has my signature as a person, and it also has the signature of the viruses that I have. And I can send a signal into my photograph, identify, say, the herpes virus, and negate it, destroy it, remove it, cure it from the photograph.
That is pretty wild. And there's definitely no side effects or anything from being around it.
Exactly. Why are there no side effects? Because this is not biological. This is light on a photograph. Now, to prove that this is specifically a light process, nobody ever says they have any die-off or any constipation, or they have a headache, or they feel nauseous. That might be the case with a chemical process or with a physical process. This is non-physical, and it's light into a photograph. So it's the information field that I'm working on, not the person. There's a big difference.
And people might be like, oh, well, then that can't be. But people we interview all the time. Yeah,
I'm a Reiki master. I don't work with physical. I do distance, so it's
So healing.
So if it can be done with energies, as in Reiki and pranic healing and all those things, that can be done. It is, why not yours?
Exactly. Good point.
You are a new. It's like back in the day when they came up with the gasoline engine, and then and then they came out with the electric engine, and how many companies shut that down because it was taking away from the big money people, right?
Yes.
But this now, you're gonna be the first on the block, and people are gonna be going, and they're gonna. But eventually, we're gonna go back. We're gonna be doing this in all of our households, and Gina and I will be able to go. Look, we had Tom on our show.
Right. Like, so, I mean, that it could be the wave of the future. It could be the, what's going to save us and save our planet, because we are so destroying our planet.
You're
Yeah.
right. We need a new model. We need a new paradigm. We
Yeah.
need solutions. We have problems, and the solutions that we have today are not working. So we need a new technique.
We do. But now Nadine is asking a question here. What frequency is scalar energy and light? And here's the issue.
I'll define this. I don't use the term frequency because that usually describes cycles per second. It usually describes a movement of electromagnetic energy, if you will. There are no cycles per second with scalar. Why? It's everywhere instantaneously. So if electricity, you have to move. Okay, we see that a magnetic field will influence an electrical field. An electrical field will influence a magnetic field. That's fine, but that's a local event. Whereas scalar energy is holographic, it's a universal event. So there's no point A and point B with scalar energy. Everything is in this sea of scalar energy. So you don't need to move the energy from one point to another. It pre-exists. Scalar energy pre-exists everywhere in the universe.
It's such a cool theory. And this was another comment that you put up right after that one was, what makes scalar light energy different from Reiki vibrational energy, quantum energy?
I guess you could say it's the same, depending on how you term matters. People have healing hands. Those healing hands give off light energy. What is that? That's scalar energy, scalar light.
Yeah.
So there is a science to the ability to heal people with touch or prayer. That's scalar energy, scalar light, which is non-physical. When you pray for somebody, right, that is a non-physical expression. When you lay hands upon somebody, okay, it's not as if there's ectoplasm in your hands. It's the energy coming off you, the power of healing. Yeah, that's all scalar energy, which is, I can assure the audience, that's not electricity. It's a different type of energy.
Right. Yeah, because I've learned prana. She does Reiki, and I've learned prana, and my hands actually heat up. Like if I'm going over someone and heat up or bounce away, like when there's a bad area and stuff like that. And it's definitely energy manipulation. Yeah. Now, Kiva wrote already about Tesla up above, but now he said long-term test 5G is an energy and is being to be proven to cause harm. He's a Reiki healer as well, and he does understand about universal energies. But 5G is also an energy that is put out like a broadcast, like electromagnetic. I mean,
which is electromagnetic. Now, see, this is the distinction. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Scalar energy, I believe, is from God. It's pure energy, pure source energy. I've never experienced any deleterious side effect, ever. I believe it's life-giving. To the contrary, electromagnetic energy does have sometimes deleterious side effects. 5G, it's now being reported, and this is becoming rather repetitious, if you will. Many people are becoming sick when they're living close to a 5G tower. Many people say they have headaches in the vicinity of 5G towers. So this seems to be if you will, a cause and effect relationship. It seems to be repeating itself. And with that in mind, I've heard from many people that 5G is now served to imperil their health. Do I believe that? Yes. Too much electromagnetic energy is not good for you. Let me use this analogy. You've seen high tension wires. Many people do not want to live close to high tension wires. I myself would never live underneath high tension wires or within a quarter of a mile of a high tension wire.
And let me just put this in here too. As a paranormal investigator, when you're around those high energy places, the activity is higher. Why? Because it's EMF. Why do ghosts and things manifest and feed off of that? Case in point, I went to a place called the Dark Horse in Southbridge, Mass, and they were always reporting fighting between the wait staff and the kitchen staff. And there was a window between where the kitchen, where the people would actually pass food through. The point of sales machine was right there. Old machine. That thing was off the charts, EMF. And the electrical box had no cover whatsoever on it, and it was just emitting because it's a humongous building, and all the energy was coming right in there, right in the kitchen, right where they're working, and the point of sale machine with another high. I mean, like my meter went just off. I'm totally to the highest thing, and when it kept going, so immeasurable amounts of EMF. So what was that doing? That's affecting people's attitudes. And they were really, people would come in there and they're friends, but they were fighting by the end of the night,
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Good point. I've heard many people say that they don't want to have microwave in their homes because it's just too much of a deleterious frequency. And so, some people say that now that our food is being radiated, by some type of process, that's serving to damage the cellular structure of fruits, vegetables, of meat, grains, etc. So it's well established there are some frequencies that are harmful to our health. On the other end is scalar energy. It's pure divine energy. I've never experienced any negative consequence with scalar energy, ever. I've treated millions of people by way of their photograph, ever. Never.
Right. So now you have my photograph, and it's only been a couple days now. And you said you're going to experience more energy. And I was like, yeah, okay, because I have been, you guys know, right? Because I put it out there. How many tests have I gone through? I went through a nuclear test and countless CAT scans and all kinds of other scans, and barium swallows and everything else, trying to figure out what's going on with me. I'm nuclear, right? I glow in the dark. So I'm just like, and I'm wiped and I'm tired, and so I'm like, okay, sign me up. So you do the 15-day free thing. So, you can go there. You guys can do it too. You upload your photo, and he puts his photo in the thing. So he says, you're going to have more energy. So I'm like, oh my God, the past few days I've had literally so much to do, and I've had zero energy lately. But the first day I was like, wow, I got all this stuff done. I'm bitching and complaining about it because I had so much to do. All right, so don't get me wrong.
Yes,
and I was, but I got it right. I got it done, and I still had energy when I was done. For the most part until nighttime. But I was like, hey, I wonder if it was from that. And I mean, and again, we can't prove it. But then again, it was like
you may not be able to prove it, but you also can't disprove it.
Right. But the thing is what he said, it's the testimonials, right? So it's how do people feel?
Yeah.
Right. So that in and of itself is proof. However, it's like in the what do you call
it? Proof is in the pudding.
Right. But the scientists have to have, a set
this trial and that trial and blind test.
Let me preface this comment before we get into this. Let me preface this comment. If electricity and magnetism is recognized as having principles, laws that it abides by, and then scalar energy has different laws and principles. So the laws and principles of electricity are not the laws and principles of scalar energy. So you can't compare the two. So this is a new technology that requires new thinking, new definitions, a new explanation of reality. I used this analogy before the show. What if there was only one computer in the world?
Right.
Then there's only one person with one computer who can speak of that computer experience.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I don't mean to be snide, but I'm the only person in the world with this type of instrument. So I'm the only one with this type of experience. Once the scientific community, once people have scalar energy instruments, then they can share their experiences and we can build a library. We can finally define the science. We can achieve a body of evidence. But to be quite frank, I'm one person and I'm doing my best to promulgate this new science. It's tough.
Now, have you gone like to a college or something and speak at like a science convention and stuff? And do they want to further it? I mean, does anybody? No one wants to. I don't get it. I don't understand.
They don't see the big picture, and I say this frequently. I say this frequently, and I'm not trying to besmirch anybody. There's no paycheck in this. This is theoretical. It takes a lot of work, and the outcome you don't know. You could be at this for the rest of your lives and just be considered off the edge or a quack. So you put all of that together, no paycheck, no career, never been accepted by academia, on the fringe of society. That eliminates many people.
Right, it does. As you're Dr. Frankenstein, and we are trying to create something. We're trying to make life, basically, out of light. Now, Nadine is saying, life, energy, universal consciousness. How is it possible that you are able to harness God's power? Well, through His device, and he's calling it God's power.
It is God's power.
We do use this energy. We all use this energy every day.
Let me be very candid. I'm so blessed over the years. I've had a number of mystics who've provided messages from Jesus Christ and the Blessed Virgin Mary as to how to go about harnessing God's power. You're absolutely right. The instrument that we showed you, I believe, is the modern day equivalent of the Ark of the Covenant. I believe I have an instrument that controls God's power, God's essence. And you're absolutely right. It's universal consciousness. This woman's brilliant. Way to go, Nadine.
Nadine is awesome.
This is indeed universal consciousness. That's what scalar energy is. And if you can control it, then you can control universal consciousness. Mm-hmm. I control universal consciousness. Very good, Nadine. Brilliant.
Oh, she's amazing. She's just super off the charts. She always has.
And Keith, you get it likewise, Keith. This is not electricity. Electricity is a flow, a stream of electrons. There's no electrons in the divine essence. This is pure energy.
Now, what kind of energy is it you can put in your hand on? You put your hand on someone, and people's hair stand up on their arms.
That's
static electricity.
Yeah, that's right.
That's electromagnetic.
Don't do that to my hair, please.
Good vibes. This is good vibes. We love you, Nadine. We love you, Nadine. Keep it up. We don't want to make you nervous or anything.
Okay, can I just do a little shout out? I'd like to welcome Keith as a first time visitor to the Fox Den, and man with a lot of good questions.
Yeah. You have a brilliant audience. They get it.
Yeah.
To ascertain that this is the equivalent of universal consciousness, my goodness, you have students, you have experts in the audience.
Well, we bring all kinds of things. And I wanted to throw out there that we just had Connie Hubner on, who talks to Divine Mother, right? So, I mean, again, we try to bring all these things for you guys so that you can think that there are these things that are out there, to try to open your mind to, this is what we need for our future. Again, let's save our planet.
Exactly.
Keith again. Okay, thank you. Watch before, but it has been a bit. That's right. I know, because I know you've been in there. I haven't seen you in a long time, Keith.
Okay, so it's just like my brain turns to mush after a while. So
yeah. Cool. So I know Keith. I know Keith from way back.
Okay.
All right. But no. This is because I have some written out questions here too, and this is one of them that's on this list, and it says, "How does scalar energy transmute matter?"
Brilliant question. Let's consider this the instructions of the universe. Now, before you have any physical activity, you need instructions. Here's an analogy. Before you build a house or a factory, you have architectural plans. There's
Right.
plans, instructions. Okay. Well, God uses architectural plans, which is scalar energy. So let's say this hand is hydrogen and this hand is oxygen. And if God wants to create a water molecule, he instructs hydrogen and oxygen to combine into a polar molecule, H2O. And what do you have? You have rain.
Yeah.
Now, if you've ever asked yourself, how is it that we get rain? And a lot of the current day theories of rain are just way off, as if the clouds suspend water and at a specific time it starts to water. Well, water's heavier than air. Why is it that some clouds can hold and suspend water and others cannot? That's all false. That's nonsense. It's very simple. There's an abundance of hydrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere. And scalar energy in certain instances will assemble that hydrogen and oxygen into water, H2O. And then it starts to rain. So scalar energy transmutes matter, combines hydrogen and oxygen, H2O, okay? And that polar molecule is water, and that's how it rains. Okay? Hydrogen and oxygen are free floating, and they can be suspended in the atmosphere. But once they combine as water, they're heavier than air, and that's why they fall. That's a transmutation of hydrogen and oxygen that creates water, rain.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's very, very interesting, really. So that in all of this, I keep thinking there is a way to measure this. There is a way, because I know you say that's immeasurable, but for me, I'd be like, my little OCD brain would be on high overload, figuring that there has to be a way to measure this. There has to be, right? And I would find it. Maureen McCann says, I saw Greg Braden's video about this a month ago. I've been practicing energy healing for almost 2 years, and I've cured myself in so many ways. I was in an accident in 1979, and both my legs were broken. I had miracles done on my legs, but I am trying to completely heal them. Will this work on my femurs that were broken?
I don't know. I can't guarantee that. And that's why we give away the 15 days of free sessions. Just email us your photograph, and then you tell me how you experience this. Now, this is such a new science, I can't predict what's going to happen. Keep in mind, I'm a theorist and I work with photographs all day long. The outcome with people I cannot predict. I can predict how the photograph responds. So I'm not dodging your question, but this is such a new science. This is why we have to build a body of evidence. So this is why we want everybody in the world to sign up for the free trial. And then with that body of evidence, we can move forward. Otherwise, if you can't prove anything, then you're stuck. I don't want to be stuck for the rest of my life.
Just for the audio only, because this gets uploaded tomorrow for the audio only, I just want to say this out loud, that it is 15 days free sessions at www.scalarlight.com, and that's SCALARLIGHT.com.
Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. For Maureen, should she send in a picture of, and for anybody else, send a picture in of their face, like their trunk, like their
just her face.
Okay, so not her legs type of thing.
Just
okay.
You just send in your bust shot, your face. That's fine. Now,
okay, so it's like the energy, the healing will go where it needs to be. It's direct. It's like okay, cool.
Correct. All we need is your face, and frankly, we only want your bust shot, your face. In the past, people started stripping down. And we don't want that. Okay, so to make things simple now, it's universal, it's a uniform, your face, a bust shot only, okay, from your neck up. Please, and no offense here, keep your clothes on. We don't want you to strip down.
Yes, please.
Yeah, no porno going on here. But Nadine now says, Tesla spoke about vibrational properties in crystals. Are there crystals in your scalar light machine?
I use a crystal to amplify the Tesla coil. Yes. And Tesla was a brilliant. And frankly, what really makes crystal come alive is scalar energy. What actually created the crystal was scalar energy instructions. And what a crystal really resonates with and can amplify tremendously is crystal. A scalar energy instrument and crystal work hand in hand. Yes.
Now she says, what do you call this new science? Is it like bioenergetics?
You'd have to define bioenergetics, but let me make this very clear. There's no biology with what I'm doing. This is non-physical. So we respect the medical community, but they work with biology, or we respect a veterinarian, they work with animals.
Right.
I'm not a biologist. I don't work with any physical reality.
Yeah. Just when you go to the www.scalarlight.com, and you'll get an email thing, you upload your photo there. So you just upload your photo, send it to him, and you'll be on the email thing. He's going to email you what's going to be happening this day and that day, every day of the 15 days. So I'm getting emails every day, and I'm looking at it, and seeing what's happening, and I am so open to any of this. If this is going to heal me, and the $90 billion worth of doctor's appointments that I've had, and this is going to work, hello. All right. So,
and that we always share with everybody the take that we get on it. So Tom, I'm sending you my picture at the end of the show.
Right.
Please do.
Not in the screen, but not in the Snapchat filters either. So be careful.
Yeah, I know, right? No snow filters, none of this. Just the picture. I don't think I sent him the best picture that I had. I was like, yeah, this one, and it really was one when I wasn't feeling well too. So I'm like, here you go. So if the signature is there, it's there on this.
Yeah, that's right. All we need is just one photograph. There you go.
And that's the thing. You will not be able to. You will not be able to share with people the results of this if people don't sign up for 15-day free trial. Hello, what is Gina? What you're saying? If it's free, it's for me. There you go. 15 days, and you have nothing to do. We're not. I doubt very much Tom's going to ask you to stand on your head and do a jig every night or something. No. Send him go to his website www.scalarlight.com. SCALARLIGHT.com. Go there, sign up, send a picture, and then just give him feedback. Good, bad, or otherwise. Feedback is feedback. We need it.
That's it. Because now, like we said, these are the things, right? I'm going to show you a bunch of different pictures. I'm going to go through, I believe there's 8 stories here. And Tom, you can explain what's going on here. These are testimonials of
Keith's already doing it.
Far away people. All right.
Yeah.
So this is the introduction of the multi-page thing that he had sent me. So this is Scalar Energy Treatments story from HIV treated patients. All right. So explain what's going on here with Catherine.
Okay. In 2017, we started working with the people of Tanzania, and specifically, we've been working with HIV/AIDS clinics in Tanzania. By the way, I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Tanzania. So people from Tanzania simply email me their photographs. Okay. Now, this gal, Catherine Lazaro, is one of the gals that emailed me her photograph. And with our instrument, we're able to ascertain the presence of the HIV virus on the photograph. Now, after working with her photograph, we received a stellar testimony from a number of people in Tanzania that they're no longer infected with the HIV virus.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
If you read at the very bottom, Catherine Lazaro, she's 32 years old. We have an agent out there that helps us from Tanzania. She was first diagnosed with HIV in 2012. So after the Scalar Energy session, she started seeing relief approximately 2 months after the sessions began. She is no longer attending the clinic for HIV. The first test after scalar treatment, she found her CD4 antigens had increased, which is great. Drastically, is such their doctors are wondering as to what has happened. And in her words, she is cured of HIV. She no longer is HIV positive. These people that I've worked with by way of their photograph, They've returned to work. They're living full lives. By her admission, she's no longer attending the clinic, meaning she's no longer on any HIV antiviral drugs. Why? Because the HIV virus has been destroyed, eradicated.
That's awesome. And then this is the next case. This is Lucy, and Lucy suffered from breast cancer for 10 years before she started scalar energy treatment. And she has been told by the doctors to get an operation. Lucy is now healed and is no longer with cancer. So she's also she wants to express her sincere thanks to Tom for rescuing my life. For sure, Tom has been sent by God to help us. All right, so that's not, I didn't read the whole entire thing, but that's the main points right there. So that is another case. This is another case. Anissa, she's 34 and is from I don't even know how to say, Sumbawanga, Tanzania. She had HIV positive before the scalar energy treatment. And after 2 months of scalar energy, she was found to be healed completely and is now a healthy farmer. So these are, this is it. Now, and then she said, and Tom donated a goat, and now she has 13. And for those people, that's their life. That is their life blood, their life work. That is how they live. So, now she has a chance to live because she's HIV positive, not positive anymore, and she's cured. So now we have Shazia, I don't know how to say it, a 62-year-old man who suffered from HIV for 6 years before his scalar energy treatment. He is now completely healed, and he lives in Mapelia village, and I can't even pronounce these places.
Bombazai district.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And there's more. So we have Elizabeth, and she's 55, and she was HIV positive in 2015. And after her scalar treatment, she now tests negative. And then again, now my thanks to Tom. Let him continue to help us, the poor. I sincerely appreciate. Now this is her writing. For the goat, he supported me, and I started with 1 and now have 14 goats. So again, he's not only doing that, he's really helping, and he cares. That's the point here too. And Phaeton was first tested HIV positive 17 years ago. He's now healed after scalar energy, and he sends his thanks to Tom for helping us, the poor. How much more? This is just amazing stuff here. And Firaha got HIV test in 2008 after scalar treatment. She is now it says tested positive. She's not positive. She's cured, completely healed. Many thanks to Tom, especially for the goat. Started with 1 and now has 18. Right, and look how cute she is. Right, she just looks adorable. Right. Now, Gordon was tested positive in 2011, and now he's healed after scalar treatment. He and his wife, tattoo after the interview, he and his wife now live happily as they are healed. So what more that is the proof. When you say the proof is in the pudding, those lives are, those lives are forever changed. They have a life. They are able to live. And
this needs to be pointed out. Their lives are changed twofold, because Tom helped them out with their physical ailments, but he also gave them a goat.
I know.
And to somebody who's a goat, but that is what makes or breaks. It gives them their milk. It gives them their, and it's so
money. Yeah. I know. So, thanks for doing that. I'm appreciative that, that in the world, because we need more of that in the world. If we are able to give, we should give,
right.
Because that's what makes our world.
It's so easy. This is so easy. And if we can work with people in Tanzania, right, by way of their photograph, my goodness, we can work with anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So what's my point? I want to treat the world. I want to cure the world. Let's have all 7.9 billion people send in a photograph.
Yeah.
How do we get this going? by a grassroots effort. Those of you who are listening to this interview, please just share this with your friend.
Yeah.
With family members. I am relying upon the people. I'm going to make that very clear. I don't want to get involved with corrupt governments or corrupt businesses or corrupt people. So keep this at a grassroots level. Share the free trials. That's it.
Right. Do you plan on making smaller machines that may be for personal use? Now it's from Nadine again.
I do not, Nadine, I do not intend on manufacturing these machines. I don't have the money. I don't have the manpower. I don't have the resources. And there's liability to that. I don't want to get into.
Plus, when you start going into manufacturing these machines, the scalar machines, for personal use, that means you have to have people backing you and big money. And big money always changes things.
Right. And licenses and liability and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, and then again, then the government gets involved. As soon as the government gets involved, it's not going to work.
And that's why I keep this with photographs. There's no law that stipulates you cannot work with a photograph.
And look at that handsome face.
I don't want to work with people because then it's considered a medical practice. So I want to keep it just with photographs.
Yeah, I hear you.
And again, it takes nothing. He's not asking you for money. He's asking you to send him a picture, a headshot. Hello, y'all become models for 15 days. That headshot will be helped, will be treated. And you just send him back whether or not you've seen anything that's happened.
Yeah,
that's all he's asking.
Yep. And as I missed the beginning, how does it work? Go back and watch. You know, we have this archive. It's on our YouTube channel.
We'll make that short. We'll make that short and sweet. I work with people by way of their quantum field. I take people's photographs. You email me a photograph, and I actually place your photograph inside a scalar energy instrument. The instrument looks at your disease patterns, looks at the microbes on your photographs, and removes microbes from your photograph. This is done through the quantum field, the informational field.
There you go.
Right.
Short and sweet.
This is the same thing. All right, I'm curious how a session works. What do you do with the photo? Well, he just said it.
Let me explain a little bit further. Everything I do is by way of photograph. So if I took my photograph and then placed it inside the instrument, I would place it next to a photograph of the herpes virus. So for the sake of this conversation, we can see this. For those who cannot see this by way of future recording, I'm holding up my photograph side by side, a photograph of the herpes virus. So there's information on on the herpes virus that's sent into my photograph. So the information, the signal from the herpes virus enters into my informational field. And the information from herpes will detect the herpes virus on my photograph and destroy it. So in the non-physical informational field, a photograph of a microbe can source a microbe on my photograph and destroy it in the quantum field.
Right. And then I think too, like, I mean, if it should be one way and there is something off, because I know, like I said before, by doing prana, I feel when something's off on someone, you know what I mean? Because or if someone walks into the room that I don't even know and gets close to me, and my hands just all of a sudden really heat up, you know, like, oh, there's something wrong here, you know? And what is, you know, how do you explain this kind of
energy? Scalar energy. That's a scalar energy gift. When people are clairvoyant, or they have horse sense or intuition, or they have a premonition, or the gift of prophecy, that's all instructions or intelligence, which is universal consciousness.
Right.
Somebody has a gift of prophecy, that's the gift of universal consciousness in the form of prophecy.
She says thank you to you for explaining that to her. Keith says quantum physics has proven a molecule split into two and each is sent miles away from each other. When something is done to one, it instantaneously happens to the other. Therefore, your concept makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keith, you're a genius. And he used the word instantaneously, and that's apropos. In a quantum field, all action is instantaneous. There's no time lag.
Right.
Time doesn't exist in scalar energy. There's only one time, the present, the I am. Like God the Father said, I am. So God is not subject to time. So if we're entering into the God dimension, we're not subject to time. So everything is happening instantaneously. And as the gentleman pointed out, you can separate a molecule at a distance, but those two remnants of the molecule will act instantaneously, will communicate instantaneously, regardless of the distance, which is counter the theory of electromagnetic energy, which takes time for a signal to travel from one point to another. In scalar, there is no time. Everything is interconnected. All action is instantaneous.
It's
The
like
now
it's like
moment.
with twins. One
Yes.
twin, one side of the world, and has something happens to them, and the twin on the other side of the world feels it at that moment in time. So it's the
Right.
same thing.
Right. But quantum physics, I mean, that's how time travel happens. You know,
Exactly.
because there isn't
Exactly. Time travel is only possible when you can negate, overcome time, transcend time. How do you do that? You only do that in a scalar force field. And this is what, Tesla and other scientists have achieved. They've been able to overcome the time-space continuum through a scalar energy device. When I work with people around the world, I act instantaneously. Time does not matter to me. In my laboratory, I have a scalar energy environment, and I can access a person in real time.
Yep.
In the present moment.
Yeah. So here's a question: when you first started treating people, was the AIDS virus, the herpes virus, the first virus that you focused towards?
One of the first. And this is what happened. After I started working with people who were HIV positive, they told me they felt better. And within a month or two, they started to gain weight.
Nice.
And that is one of the telltale signs of a successful scalar energy session. If you can eradicate the HIV virus, people have more energy and they start to gain weight. Yes, their appetite comes back. This has happened with so many people. So many people. I'm sure we've already worked with hundreds of thousands of people who are HIV positive, and every person has told us that they did report. If I did get a testimony, they say they feel better, they are eating more, they have greater muscle mass, and they're gaining weight.
Yeah, that's a major plus.
That's huge.
So
That's huge.
You're not asking just people with HIV. You're asking anybody.
Everybody in the world.
Everybody. And do they have to tell you what their issue is?
No, and I'll tell you why. I've calibrated this instrument to look for 400,000 species of microbes, germs.
Okay.
And in so doing, this instrument can detect on the photograph in their quantum field that many 400,000 species of microbes and eradicate them. Now, I don't diagnose. I don't want to get into diagnosis because then you might consider that to be a medical procedure. So I don't diagnose, but I can identify on the photograph microbes, and that's what I do.
That's pretty awesome. I don't know, but I did have energy the other day. That's all I can say, and I haven't had any energy besides being like, when you go through the health things, you go through the gambit of emotions that are involved with it as well. So you go through the depressions and the, lack of energy because of the depressions and the, you want to just overall give up, but then you get that one little boost, that one little spark, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, and your intent and your, your beliefs, your perceptions become your reality. Yep. So, again, this is something that we work with metaphysics every day. So, this is just another form of, healing and whatnot, helping the world But the energy source, though, people, the energy source alone, he's lighting light bulbs next to this without plugging them in. So you got to think of that on the grand scale of things. That is amazing.
Okay, a tiny little joke. That's called a bright idea. Hello. I was gonna get that one in there somewhere.
Yay! One for Mama.
I like that. Very good.
All right. You got Nadine again. Okay, an aura is an electromagnetic energy current. Their wavelengths can be measured in hertz.
Yes.
Same with a sound like crystal bowls, and their vibrational energy and binaural beats. Yes, yes, and yes. So we can't see that. The aura pictures and the aura cameras take all, and you have all the colors and you can see all those things. Again, measurable. And this though, it's everywhere. It's like this is where my brain would be like, okay, well, let's try this, because if this can be measured this way, well, what can we use? What is the scale? What is the
it really boils down to this simple fact. There's two dimensions, so there's two realities now. So we can look at the human body from the electromagnetic standpoint, and yes, we have electromagnetic energy, but we also have a scalar energy body that remains hidden, that is so esoteric to us. There are two dimensions, so there's two realities, and there's two explanations for nature now. I'm going to give you an example. Many scientists look at quasars, and quasars are rather peculiar in their behavior. Why? Because it's a scalar energy quasar. And if you really can understand at the very center of a quasar or star, it's 100% scalar energy. This is why many scientists are baffled by the behavior of some stars, some quasars. If you look at the very center point of a star, it's 100% scalar energy. And therefrom, once the scalar energy leaves the star, it will break down into electromagnetic energy. But if you want to find a pure scalar energy environment, go to the center of a star. And this is why many astrophysicists, when they look at the very center of our sun or any star, there are anomalies that cannot be explained by way of electromagnetic theory. Why? Because stars are scalar energy bodies. So that's an example. There's two realities, there's two definitions, there are two physics textbooks. There are two branches of physics now, electromagnetic and scalar.
Okay, now that's, all right. So now, again, if you're going to think of this as a universal thing, and if we have all these different realms, because I've had psychics that can look into a room and see various levels and time frames and everything else in the room. You know what I mean? So he's like, it's multi-dimensional, this, that, and the other thing. So some people can see this. So some people can tap into it. So that, again, leads me to the point where, well, if someone can see it, someone can feel it, someone can hear it, so it can be measured. It can be measured. There's got to be a way. I'm going to find it. I'm telling you.
If we ever can measure scalar energy, it will have nothing to do with voltage or amps. Because it's not electricity. There are many people, they claim they have a scalar energy device, and then they start using electromagnetic terms, and I say that can't be scalar. You're using electricity to measure scalar. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Right. Let me put this picture up again of your for people that have just come in. All right. This is the device that he has built as a vacuum tube in there. Is that like the old TVs when they first came out? Was that like those?
Yeah.
That kind of a tube.
It's a cathode. Yeah, it's a cathode. It's like a cold vacuum tube. It doesn't heat up. Go on.
All right. So this is what he has come up with to harness this energy, and he has to explain it because he already explained it one time. And hi, Athena's here with us. And it's an amazing technology. He did go over this in very much detail at the beginning of the show. So I suggest if you're watching now and you came in late, go back and watch this again. You might want to watch this show a couple times because this concept is pretty incredible, pretty amazing. What he made there is pretty amazing.
I have to I've got to underscore, I'm working with a brilliant engineer. Okay. So,
Yeah, well,
and by the way, my predecessor is a man by the name of Hieronymus that I actually back in the 90s was able to purchase scalar energy instruments from Hieronymus. But he deceased and no longer with us.
Right. We'll talk about that. We'll pick up that after this little break. I'm gonna show a little video to intro our Athena, and then she's gonna be talking about her crystal of the week.
Hello, loves. I am so grateful to be back here on the Fox Den and sharing with you our crystal of the week. I am Athena Barry, a crystal Reiki master and author of award-winning book Raise Your Vibes. And I'm so delighted to be able to come back here and share our crystal of the week segment with you. And for this week, and given what this show is about, I really felt called to use clear quartz. So, and now I realize I don't have it in frame. So this is one that I use for my pendulum, and clear quartz is super easy to spot. It's clear. Sometimes you'll see some inclusions in there, but this one really is the mother of all crystals. It's the master healer, known as, and it's really the ultimate gift from our Mother Earth. It's one of my favorite crystals to work with, and the energy that radiates from this crystal has been used for, oh my gosh, for so many things. I'm going to try to cover it all in here, but everything from healing to making radios, keeping time. It amplifies the energy of other crystals. So if you are creating grids or anything, this is a wonderful one to keep there. But it also creates clarity of our minds. So this helps in a way that you really can get knowledge of your true self by working with clear quartz. Now, this one works to clear and balance and bring into kind of communication and harmony all of our chakras. So really, wherever you're choosing to intend to focus, that's the chakra that your clear quartz is going to work on. It really does work from a sense of pure source energy. It's one of those gifts from Mother Earth that just is so pure, so full of light, and is incredible because you can really kind of tune into the energy of this, but also use it for really any kind of purpose. It works with all elements of nature, including the storm, metal, or ether, depending on who you speak to. And it's amplified and connected to all of the elements of nature. This one comes in many, many different forms as well, or formations. So you'll see them as windows through time in window quartz. You'll see them as generators. They're called generators. You'll see them in, there's so many different kinds, like luminarious ones, ones that they think come from ancient times, like predating human beings even. So this one is wonderful for, if you're doing any kind of past life meditations, regressions, even for forward thinking. So it's wonderful for that psychic ability, for manifesting, for healing. It's like, just to name a few, right? And because of its really powerful conductive properties, you'll find many of our modern day appliances using them. So that could be radios, computers, televisions, watches. I even have quartz countertops in my kitchen. We'll see these all over. And then if you didn't realize, yes, we really are already telling time with clear quartz. And maybe you didn't know it, maybe you did, but always something new to learn. Because this crystal is so programmable and open to intention, it picks up a lot of energetic debris very easily. And it tends to, so it'll need to be cleansed more often than really any other stone. I personally love to keep a piece of selenite next to my clear quartz. All of my clear quartz pieces, whether upstairs in my bedroom, in my healing room, I keep a wand next to my pendulum. And this just helps kind of clear out any vibrations that are not intended for the purpose that I have set to use my clear quartz. This clear quartz is a true vessel of divine light and energy that establishes a really strong connection to source energy together with our higher consciousness. So it can be used for really any and all intentions, and it's extremely useful and powerful as a tool for healers. So anybody who's, thinking about getting into energy healing, definitely want to have a piece of clear quartz in your toolbox. Ways you can use this crystal yourself. Literally, sky is the limit. I use clear quartz every day as jewelry, my pendulum, as amplifiers. Those little pieces are wonderful as amplifiers in your crystal grids. Every time I look at my watch, clear quartz is in so many different places that we don't even realize. So another reason to keep your thoughts positive and maybe carry around a piece of selenite just to keep things in your home clear. But also you can use this one to meditate, especially like I said earlier, if you're going to do some past life regression, or you're doing some deep meditation for, your chakras, or to heal a specific part of the body that you want to work on. You can place a piece of clear quartz like directly on that part of the body and just, send those healing vibrations to that area. The clear quartz will amplify those intentions. It's also really wonderful. My first big piece was for our 15th wedding anniversary. So this is crystal is the traditional 15th anniversary gift. So for all of our married couples out there, get yourselves a big chunk of clear quartz. It's a wonderful gift. Likewise, it's wonderful in your crystal elixirs. So, in your bathtub, in your shower, in your water bottles, these are really good for amplifying and cleansing that energy that, then you're taking into your body, whether through your skin or ingesting. And of course, I love to leave you with a wonderful affirmation to help you connect with your crystal's energy. And for clear quartz, I am the master of my own destiny and create what I desire. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me join you on this week's show. And I hope that this has brought some value to your show.
Absolutely, 100%. You always do. Thank you so much, love.
Thank you. Tom, I love what you are doing with the Scalar Energy. The first time I heard about this actually was before I had back surgery, before I became a Reiki master. And I had a friend in England that had a friend that was doing this, and were suggesting I have this treatment. And of course, I'm far away, and he seemed to think that didn't matter. So it's just kind of interesting. All these years later, I see here I'm joining a show with somebody who does scalar energy. It's just really cool.
Right.
Pursuant to your work, I think I would say that of all the material I've ever worked with, crystal comes alive with scalar energy. If there's one material that amplifies scalar energy that comes alive with scalar energy, it's crystal.
I love that. Yep. And so of course we had crystal, clear quartz crystal show up, and
perfect thing. And I had on my crystal ring, and I don't know why I took it off. I took it off and put my puppy ring back on.
That's okay.
But I have the
I have plenty of quartz around here for you. Don't worry. But yes, it's wonderful for scalar. I mean, with scalar, I would imagine, I don't know too much about it, but I would imagine with, like other microwaves, clocks, watches. Nowadays, we have TVs, we have everything. I would imagine that clear quartz also, because it has such conductive properties and that, source energy, that would make sense why it would work so well with what you do and the power of light. So love it.
So again, thank you so much. Perfect choice. as always.
As always.
And
My
can't wait to see
pleasure.
what you come up with for next week's show, too.
Yes, wonderful. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your show. Thank you for having me on. Mama D, you're very quiet today. Nice to see you always. And so much love and healing to all of you. Many blessings.
Oh,
See
thank
you
you,
soon.
love.
Oh,
We'll
and
talk
she'll
very
have
soon.
a message in Facebook.
Oh, I have. Ooh, since
Check it
Athena
out
talked
later.
I will check it out later. And hi, Nadine. Nice to see you, love. Okay.
She's
bye.
been priceless on the show.
Oh my gosh, isn't Nadine amazing? She
Yes.
is just, she's so incredible. She's one of these people that are such a gift. And you can't help but just to love her and want to like hold her
Well, when
see
you
her.
when
She's
you
lovely.
see her next, you just give her a hug from us. Will you
Aw,
please? A
I
big
will.
one. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Well,
not
Nadine,
just
I
one
hope
from
we'll
both.
see you on the 15th at the beach because that would be awesome. That's our next goddess circle. She actually coined the phrase goddess circle for us
There we go.
for our
See?
healings on the beach.
Smart.
So.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All
Thank
right.
you so
All
much.
right,
Thank
loves.
you,
Well,
Athena.
have a wonderful rest of your show. Thank you for having me here, and I'll see you soon.
We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
So that is our Athena. We love her dearly. Oh, she said, Athena, she said yes, she's going to be at the beach. Okay. And she loves you, Athena. As do we. Now, what Athena brought up though, which is a key point that I want to make sure that I, associate with you too, is she talked about the chakras. Now, explain how scalar light balances the 7 major chakras and the 12 meridian points.
Okay. We have 7 chakras, and I frequently say that 7 is a perfect number. So God has embodied 7 scalar energy points of light. A chakra is composed of scalar energy, which is non-physical perfect light.
Mm-hmm.
And my scalar energy instrument will interface, will influence those 7 chakras. The best way to influence a chakra is with scalar energy, not with electricity. So every day I perform a chakra balancing. I actually place your photograph close to the Tesla coils. That's a chakra balancing. And for 1 hour, your photograph is influenced by the scalar energy instrument, balancing your chakras, balancing your brain waves. That's all non-physical action. And many people say that the chakra balancing has helped them overcome fear, addictions, phobias. Others have said that the chakra balancing produces a meaningful night of sleep. Some people say that their dreams are now to the point that they can recall them. They have vivid dreams. Others have said they've been able to give up chocolate or alcohol or
I know I have to give all this up right now.
or some vice, if you will. Now,
why did you mention chocolate first, Tom? Seriously.
Well, some people have a vice with candy, with chocolate, with not just beer or alcohol. Candy it can be to the extreme.
Yeah, it can. If for me, if it's in the house, I will eat it. If it's not in the house, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if you bring it into this
Mama,
house, you better make sure you hide it somewhere really good because I will find it.
I threw some out tonight because I can't eat it because
Okay, but then that's a good reason. You
one
should
of the
put it in my box and ship it to me right away.
Eating chocolate is like one of the reasons why I'm in always so much pain. Like I can't have my milk that I love. I'm trying lactate. I can't have my chocolate. I just threw it out. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. I'm just like, I hate it.
Bread and water. There you go.
I know. It's like the list is, miles and miles and miles of things you can't eat. I'm like, all right, I get. I can't eat anything I like ever again, or drink anything I like ever again, right? But what can I eat? All right, that's all I want to know. Where's the list of what you can have?
Yeah,
Just be this big on a matchbook cover, right? Somewhere.
So Tom, in regards to like Gina has issues with digestion and everything else that goes on, and I have the same thing. Will Scalar Energy possibly help that? It's not a physical. It's not like a herpes virus. It's not a virus,
right,
but it's an issue with our bodies that just kind of go. I don't think so.
Well, I have diverticulosis.
Yeah,
That's the thing. I mean, it's a treatable thing. I don't know how they treat it, but I guess, or if they take a chunk out, I don't really know, but it's a thing,
Take a
so.
chunk out of you. Nobody loves to choke out of you.
So let me use this as an example. I'm holding up a photograph of vitamin E, and this is part of our program. I actually take photographs of vitamins, if you will, and I place those photographs of vitamins right next to a person's photograph. Okay. So the molecular structure, the atomic structure of vitamin E is then downloaded into my quantum field.
Okay.
Look at how that looks like the picture next to him.
So
on the
it does, doesn't it?
So these, if you will, this nutrient therapy is administered by way of photographic signals or scalar energy signals.
Okay.
Now, does that help people? Some people say it does. Can I predict the outcome? No. Obviously, I'm always working in a remote laboratory by way of a person's photograph. Yeah. Many people say that after a month or so that they have strong fingernails. Well, what does that mean? Probably means that vitamin E was delivered to their fingernails, their entire body.
Yeah.
Can I prove that? No, because this is a new science that does not have proof. Others will say that their skin is clean.
So much stuff that's going on out there. Can I prove what I've done with my Reiki healing? In physical proof, can you no, like, or in
right.
medical proof, no. But when the people tell me that they have, the little munchkin pie that I helped is feeling a lot better, and he's doing much better, and gets what I get, I send to him, then that's the proof that for me, that's what feeds my soul, feeds my heart. It's because I know that they're doing better. But it's just
the prana works. Prana works because my nephew's girlfriend asked me for prana healing. Right. I didn't know that they weren't getting along at the time. Okay, I really didn't. But this is what happened. So I'm scanning. I get down to her belly, and I said, "Wow, there was something huge going on there. I mean, my whole body felt it. Everything. My hands were insane. So I worked on her, and I pulled it, and I pulled it, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, what is going on here? She said, "Yeah, there's a major." She's got major abdomen issues. She, the doctors told her she can't get pregnant, all this kind of stuff. Well, come to find out, after what I did, she got pregnant, but my poor nephew and her were not getting along. So this caused, big friction. but I have a great nephew now who is a love and absolutely adorable and everything, but there was major conflicts. I mean, because there's like nut trouble.
Yeah. But that's the thing. People want to see written, like you said, scientific proof. There's no way that you can do scientific proof. Yeah. At least not to my knowledge, anyway. That you can do scientific proof on physical proof on energy healing, whether it's Scalar, whether it's Reiki, whether it's crystal, or whether it's pranic, whatever the form of energy healing, it's just not, but if y'all can do that, please let me know. But right now, like Tom has,
go back to my
people sending him news that, hey, it worked. So why not?
To prove my work, I can always tell on the signal of a photograph if somebody has the herpes virus or not, or the HIV virus. And I can negate that. I can destroy it. Call it what you will. Transmute it, cure it, remove it. Mm-hmm. But I can't prove that at a distance because I don't work with people. I only work with force fields of photographs.
Right. So when you get a picture of somebody, do you put them into the system to scan them so that it does its thing? Like the first hour is like, this is your scanning moment?
Yep, the scanning mode. Yep, that's a good way to put it.
And gentlemen. Hi, Taryn. We love you. I gotta back up on these comments we got here because Nadine was talking before Athena came on. She said someone had mentioned that the secrets of the universe is energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay. And then she says, and since Athena talks clear quartz, is this the crystal you use in your scalar energy machine, or do you use piezoelectric crystals?
It's a clear quartz. It's silicon dioxide, a clear quartz. Yes.
Beautiful. Nadine, you are asking beautiful questions. So we're learning right along with you. And we got this one. All right. So Nadine says, my acupuncturist told me that caffeine and even chocolate lowers our chi, makes you less grounded. Huh. All right. Caffeine's the only thing I refuse to give up, right? I'm not supposed to have it, but I refuse. All right. I'm putting my foot down whether
This girl drinks
it
enough
my
coffee.
chi or
You know how
not.
you make the big 12-cup coffees? That's her coffee cup, Tom. That's
This
her
big.
coffee cup in the morning. It's about this big. I looked at it one time and I said, "What are you?" She goes, "Coffee." I went, "How big is that?" She goes, "Well, it's only a couple of cups." Yeah, I think I have one here. It's about a 12-cup cup, and it's like a joke cup. It's like, no, she really drinks. She
I
really
drink
drinks.
a pot of coffee every morning, but I make it weak. I do. I make it like half strength, but I drink the
Okay,
pot.
that sounds to me like my old neighbor used to say,
morning.
"I don't drink much. I drink a bottle of wine mixed with fruit juice, and it lasts me all day long." It's still a bottle of wine. It's still a pot of coffee, woman, no matter how strong it is. Good Lord. Sorry, Tom.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love
I had my mom moment. Never mind.
it. I know. I love you, Mama. Maureen says, the hole that I was born with in my heart is gone with energy healing.
Good.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Taryn, you did miss so much. Oh my God. This is
You need to go back and check this out.
great show. All right.
And when you do, go to his website, sign up for the free 15 days, and send up
Yeah.
your beautiful
Yeah,
headshot.
send your picture in. Send your picture in. All right. I have to rewatch Scalar Energy. When it first came on and he had the picture up, I thought he was
selling some amazing weight loss.
Oh my God. Well, hey, you know what? You never know. And no, I'm not giving up chocolate. Tanya. All right, Tanya. Don't give up the chocolate. I have to. I can't stand the pain anymore. So whatever's going on. I got 2 full things. So yeah. But I gave Tom my picture. We put it in there. I did have some energy. I do still have more energy. My voice, and I've had my voice is here through this whole show. Have you noticed that? Not squeaking, not cracking.
Has your voice improved, your projection?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I'm not losing it.
Here's the thing. Usually before a show, we'll sit down and we'll have a chit chat. And she'll be like, "I need to go get something to drink, so get my voice going." And tonight, nothing.
Right.
And then she told me that you were doing healing on her, and I went, "Now I know."
Yeah. I mean, so hopefully, this is what it's doing. All right. What do we got going on over here again now? Who said what?
Karen's saying I look sultry. It's like, oh, there we go.
Sultry. Rawr. All right. Love it. I know. I'm loving her hair. Did you notice I colored mine, Taryn? It's darker. It's actually really red. And it's like I have really crappy lighting here, but it's like I'm going to send you a picture.
We're going to do something with your hair. Don't worry.
Makeup sexy. But yeah, my hair is really red right now. It's almost as red as Mama D's, and it's freaky. But we were talking about the chakras and what you said about the chakras and putting the picture near the lights and everything else. But now talk about the 12 meridian points and what it does for that.
Okay, you might want to go back to the photograph in which I'm illuminating light bulbs. And what am I getting at? Well, the very energy that is being broadcast by this instrument that's so powerful that it can illuminate a light bulb. Imagine in place of that light bulb is your photograph. So if this instrument is so powerful, it can illuminate light bulbs in my hand.
And that's still in its packaging too.
Yes, there you go. That is the same energy that's entering into your brain, your psyche, your consciousness, your 7 chakras, your meridians, etc. That is a chakra balancing. That's how powerful these instruments are.
Yeah. So, and it is instantaneous because it is quantum physics really going on here.
Yes, exactly. So when I first started experimenting with this instrument and I saw that I could readily illuminate a light bulb, well, if you can illuminate a light bulb, then you can illuminate the conscience. You can illuminate the 7 chakras, and that's what we're doing. And with what? With divine pure energy, with the God energy, the God force energy, not with electricity. What you're looking at on the left-hand side, people, is a scalar energy instrument. and the room is filled with scalar energy, and that's why the light bulbs will illuminate autonomously.
And we can do this on a much larger scale.
Yeah. Can you imagine what we can do?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
here we go. Wait, just 1 second. One second. Okay, I gotta do this. Terrence says, I apologize, Tom. I'm not normally this annoying. I really am interested in this. She is, but she's still interested in this.
Taryn has Paranormal Brew. If you haven't watched Paranormal Brew, you better get your butts over there and watch her. And she has a lot of other people on her networks too. She does so much for other people, and she has a lot of interesting, mostly paranormal people. We're more metaphysical. She's definitely more paranormal, but she does help a ton of people in the field.
What explains the supernatural world? What explains the paranormal? It really is scalar energy.
We're all energy. You're already talking about our chakras. That's energy, right? You know, you want to align. That's what we work with, right? We're aligning our chakras all the time. You're illuminating our chakras. Energy.
Yes. Yes. And now there's two energies. Now that we've agreed that there's electromagnetic energy and scalar energy, so there's two definitions for reality. And many of the paranormal events can only be explained by way of scalar energy. For instance, if you see an angel is composed of scalar energy, 100% scalar energy.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you cannot understand an angel by way of electromagnetic theory. It's not electricity.
Right. Yes, Taryn, they aren't lighting up by themselves. He's just taking that bulb right out of the box and bringing it over the machine, and it is lighting up.
Yep.
Well, so this is like clean energy to the extreme.
Yes, indeed.
Energy.
Could you imagine what you could do with this? Not negating the healing properties of scalar energy, but could you imagine what this would do in possibly on an investigation?
Yes.
How spirit
we use EMF. We use all kinds of EMF detectors and whatnot. You know what I mean? But this scalar energy, if we could use it, say, to amp up to, again, it's going to be a measurable thing though. So there has to be a way to measure it. There has to be a way. You just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is right now, because it's new, but there has to be. If it exists, there is a way to measure it.
Yeah, but I think for me, Gina is the nuts and bolts girl. Okay. I'm just imagining how much closer we can connect with spirit. Because so many people, you can't measure a psychic's ability. You can't measure a medium's ability in nuts and bolts. But there is that connection. People do get Teresa Caputo. She can give you facts and figures of people who've passed over. There's no rhyme or reason as to why she does, but she does because she connects with spirit.
Yes.
A scalar energy can do something to amplify that connection that spirit has with us.
Yes,
just imagine that. It's like
absolutely. Yeah.
You've seen many
on an investigation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do use things that, you know.
Where are you situated again in the US?
I'm in Florida.
Ooh, Florida.
Yeah, he's on our time zone.
You've seen many geniuses in the world. I've used this analogy frequently. If Mozart can compose by the age of 5 a musical composition, that was a gift. That was a scalar energy gift.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have creativity as a gift. Some people have imagination. Some people have athletic ability. Mozart could write a composition at age 5.
Yeah.
So those are scalar energy instructions. There are some people who have the gift of languages. They can memorize, they can speak multiple languages.
Gina has scalar brain. Yeah, no, you can see. Okay, here's my thing. I may be wrong, but this woman can see something and mentally break it down as to how it's built, how it's, how it needs, what she needs to do to build. And it's like, what was it? Iron Man, where Tony Stark was sending things out and that's what she does when she describes how she breaks down things. That's what it does. So
Yeah.
your
I've had this
brain,
since I was a child, you
yeah.
know.
So
But I mean, I would go to, my
scalar
dad was
energy.
a carpenter, you know, like I would go to some of his job sites as a kid, you know, that was like my jungle gym, you know, playing in the framing and whatnot. So like I seen it at that point. But I can look at a piece of furniture and in my head I can just explode it, and I know where all the pieces, parts, you know, what
Yeah.
rails
That's a
and
gift.
stuff.
That's incredible.
And yeah, you know, and the same thing in a room. Like I know what's in your walls. I know what's, you know what I mean. I see it in pieces. Um, it's wild, but it is, yeah. It's just something that has always been. I thought everybody had it. You know what I mean? Because I
Yes.
didn't think it was different. You know, I'm like, what do you mean you don't understand how this works or how that's built? You know, like, can't you see it? You know, and to
You
me,
see, this is why you pick up on scalar or abstract concepts like this. You can see outside the box, so to speak.
Hmm.
You can
that's what I'm
envision the universe as it is. Whereas some
saying.
people they just don't have that, and my heart goes out to them. They just cannot abstract. They don't get it.
Yeah.
No, no, or
Yeah,
you
because
know,
she's not
so
just
so
nuts and
blocked,
bolts. She's
so
everything else,
one
but
way.
she likes to try and fit it into a box. But sometimes boxes just kind of explode, my darling. Your head is like non-boxable. Okay,
So
that mind, that imagination, that everything that goes on up in that little tiny little.
it never shuts off.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
exactly.
It just doesn't
We have a
stop.
good question here again from our adorable Nadine. Can you explain autism and the energy for those affected with it? Would scalar energy help those with autism?
Scalar energy helps
Scalar, sorry.
in some marginal sense people with autism. It makes them sometimes more communicative. It's not the cure. It's not the cure. Do I perhaps a very, very strong instrument, which I don't have, could reprogram brain waves and could break that cycle of autism? Autism is simply just another reality. You know,
Mm-hmm.
many of these people of autistic, they're living in, I think, a different scalar energy reality, and many people who are autistics have
Huge, yeah.
incredible gifts, which is really a sign of a scalar energy presence.
Yeah.
But what they're keen on in a scalar energy environment, they lack, so to speak, in an electromagnetic environment. That's why they seem to be an oddity. They're not. They're
They could be the ones that are focusing in on what it is to be.
yes.
Yeah.
I believe many people who are autistic are living more in a scalar energy realm than they are in an electromagnetic realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as difficult as it is, and I've always believed this, and from the time I first met a young man with autism, um, I think that they are an amazing gift. And I know it's difficult as a parent, which Nadine is a parent, I believe, of two children with autism or on the autism spectrum. I think that they are an amazing gift, and they're what they hold our future in their heads, whether they can express it or not always, but trust me, there's a lot coming,
Yeah.
and those babies are going to be amazing for us.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are. They have unique gifts. I've seen many autistic. You've heard of the movie Rain Man? Rain Man.
Yes, I
Well,
love him.
he was considered to be autistic
Mhm.
and perhaps socially awkward, but he was a genius. He
Yep.
could memorize books.
Right.
You know, and
And
that
that
was
was based on a real person.
yeah. His name
You
was Lawrence Peak.
Yeah.
So it's a different reality. I'm
Mhm.
firmly convinced autistic people live in that other reality. We don't understand it.
Mm. My brain is going like 500 miles an hour on this too, going, you know, like how many other ways can we use it? Like Mama D's saying, you know, about us, you know, using it in paranormal and whatnot, using it to power our lights and whatnot, healing and whatnot. But I'm like, well, what else? What else could we use this for?
Yeah.
You know,
And
there's, I think
I
it's
think mom
endless.
is just you're just the tip of the rainbow. Eventually you will just like it'll be a rainbow of Skittles. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. This is even when I had you on my show way back in, I don't know how many years ago, I knew that this was something uh, that wasn't going away. A lot of people, it's just a flash in the pan. No, it's not. And here you are again.
Still at it.
And you're still at it, and you've gone farther. And this is what's amazing. So people, if you think this is like a one-up thing, no, it's not. It's the second time I've had the pleasure of meeting with Tom, and he's gone farther, and it's amazing. I'm looking forward, if I live long. Okay, I've told you I'm not going to die anywhere anytime soon, because I've been to both places. Neither one of them wants me, so I'm here for an eternity. So I'm going to watch you grow, Tom.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the audience. Let me be very blunt. It's all about podcasts and getting the message out to the people. It's grassroots. Now, by the way, no major network has ever bothered to interview me, nor will they.
Because they're afraid.
Of course, they're intimidated. This is a technology that will make obsolete the military-industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's like someone coming up with a cure for cancer. Big pharma will never happen. You know what I mean? A cure for an energy thing. Now, the big oil companies, never going to happen. The electric companies, never going to happen. Because
look at the windmill things for electric energy. People be like, no. It's coming. It's coming.
The only way this is going to happen is on a catastrophic field, like something that blows out all our energy, and we need to come up with something different. All right. But we are killing our planet. So our need from killing our planet is what? Creating more electronic cars, electric cars instead of gas cars, right? We're doing more solar energy homes, right? So we're taking power from the sun.
We're getting better,
However,
but we still have more to go.
If we had this scalar energy, it would be even better than those solar panels, right? So we are doing it to a degree, but it's always necessity being the mother of invention.
Yeah.
And what do we need at the time? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's like what we have going on. And if it's making the big, huge companies money, don't touch it, because they have people that come wipe you out. Basically, that's what it is.
Like I said, the big companies won't allow it to get bigger now because they're afraid of it, because they won't make money off it. Everything that Tom does so far it starts with him. He's not asking people for money. He's not saying big pharma, come and help, come check this out. It's like, I'm going to help these people because they need it, and I'm going to give them a goat to go along with it.
That's a great point. We're all grassroots. And again, I don't want to get involved with government. We realize many governments are corrupt. I don't want to get involved with business. Many businesses are corrupt.
Yeah.
Many corporations are corrupt.
Okay, if somebody wants to help you by buying a goat for somebody, can they do that?
Get in touch with me, please.
There you go.
Our crew, our Scalar Energy crew, just about every month we send $1,000 to Tanzania.
Aww.
We purchase goats. Those people have nothing.
Yeah.
Now, what have I learned? I don't know anything about goat herding. Now I do. Goats are easy to manage. They're not big animals like horses or cows. They're manageable. And you can get milk from them. They seem to be easily acclimated to the weather, to the environment in Tanzania. So goats seem to be the go-to animal right now.
So if somebody's listening and wants to help out and doesn't know how, and we're not sorry, I'm not asking Ford to do it. I'm asking, I was going to say Tom. Tom already does it, even if it's $50, like he says, at the end of every month, they try and give $1,000 to Tanzania to buy goats.
Yeah, like I showed you all those.
And by the way, this is what I also learned about goats. Boy, they are prolific.
Yeah, he gives one there.
We're very romantic. We've started out with, I think, maybe 100 goats. Now there's over 1,000 goats. So
they like bunny rabbits.
Yes, they do. They are very romantic.
Yep. Well, this is good because that's how they make their living. So not only are you curing
That's
them
how
of
the whole
their
thing survives.
HIV
Yes.
and many other diseases that they, are showing over there, you're giving them goats and you're giving them a second chance of life. Like you're giving them life and then you give them a living. That's
Yeah.
a two different things. But you guys can also try this, right? 15 days of free
Yes.
sessions.
Go do
By the
this.
way, may I ask the listening audience, please share that with your friends, the website. Again, there's free sessions, and you could please put it on social media. As a grassroots effort, we need your help, please.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. I'm sorry. Mary Jane is so funny. She says, I'm a little hesitant around goats. One started eating my hair when I was younger and scared me to death. And she also said that she had never heard of scalar energy before. And, neither did I. So, you learned with me. Yes, Mama D has. Actually, we talked about it before, but before Tom, because you told me about Tom a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
And I was amazed when you came up
what
in
time I did
conversation as a guest. I was like, I know Tom. I told you about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, all right. I said this is definitely, an interesting topic, and
Yeah,
one that
it
I want
is.
to learn
It
more
is.
about.
It's opening up a new ideas for people.
Yep.
It makes your brain think.
Yeah. And I'm going to run down these pictures really quickly because we showed them earlier, but I just want to go through them again. So
Yeah.
these are some of the people that he has helped. This is Catherine, and she was an HIV patient who is now cured. This is Lucy. She had breast cancer, now cured. This is Anissa, and she was HIV positive, cured. Okay, another HIV positive and also cured. Now watch the bottom. All right, so this is Elizabeth at 55 years old, and she was HIV positive, now cured. And thanks to Tom, okay, I sincerely appreciate the goat. He supported me. I started with 1 and now have 14. All right. Now, do you see the house she's living in, the conditions she's living in, and everything? So this is where these goats are going. In this environment of the poor, see, send my thanks to Tom Paladino for helping us, the poor. So this is where those goats are going. This is their living. They need this. So she started this one here, Furaha. I don't know how to say it. She started with 1 goat. Now she has 18. That's pretty much a rich woman. Okay. So if you really want to read more about those, go back on this show. Share the show because we did have them up there, longer. If you want to see them after, if you want to get in touch with me, you want to get in touch with Tom, you want to get in touch with Mama D, we have these things. We can show you these things. Okay.
But the
And
most important, the quickest way is go to Tom's website. And what is that website again, Gina? www.
www.scalar, SCALAR, light, LIGHT.com.
Go over to the site, sign up, send your headshot, be a model for 15 days, let him do his thing, send him comments, good, bad, or otherwise. Even if you felt nothing, let him know. Because this way, he gets feedback. Feedback is the most important thing, and no matter what we do in our lives,
Yep.
feedback is a good thing. Like I
Yeah.
said, good, bad, or otherwise. I enjoy when people tell me, you suck, you didn't do it good. I didn't feel nothing. Okay, well, you know what? I put that on the shelf because I know in the future it's going to come back. I'm going to have a reason for it.
Mhm.
So, get your butts over there and do it. Be a model for a day, send a headshot. And as Tom said, keep your clothes on. So that's what I'm saying. Just be a headshot.
Yes.
He's actually sending picture people, blah, blah. People have actually sent him all-togethers. We don't need the all-together. See, it's just like, you do not want to traumatize the man. Hello.
He doesn't want to be blinded for life by some of you or
Okay.
some of
Eric, keep your clothes on.
but just a headshot. That's all he needs.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and again, what is the harm? If it's free, it's for me. I'm always saying, right? And you get 15 days free. You get an email every single day of what is happening this day. What the process is, and then there'll be a place to comment back, like right back, Are you feeling anything? Is this happening? Is that happening? And it's like a little conversation. And you know what? He cares. He's been doing this for years under all this scrutiny, right? From other
Tom,
people.
how long have you been doing this for, the scalar energy, working with it?
I am 62 years of age, so I've been studying scalar for 50 years now.
Wow.
It's been a pursuit for 50 years.
Wow.
That's amazing. So there you go.
Mary Jane says, is there an app yet? An app for...
No, not an app. No, just the website. We try and keep it very simple.
Yeah. No.
Because you have to explain so much. An app would be apropos maybe 5 years down the road when people understand it. We want people to go to the website and read an article or two. That's why.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because you said you want to learn, like I didn't know anything about this. We did the test the other day. I talked to Tom, a lot about this and decided, yes, hey, here's my picture, please go for it. You, Mary Jane, you know what I've been going through too. And if it's going to help me, of course I'm going to try it. If it's, and it's not out of my realm. It's not out of Mama D's realm. It's not out of a lot of people that we know's realm. It's an energy field. We work in this all the time, So give it a try. It's definitely worth giving it a try.
It is.
Yeah. And there's this comment here on this list here. It says, describe how scalar energy is to human enhancement as photosynthesis is to plants.
I'm going to answer that by way of an example. My predecessor, Hieronymus, Galen Hieronymus, was able to take a scalar energy antenna on the roof of his home and then direct that into his basement where he had plants. So he ran a wire from a scalar energy electrode on the top of his house into potted plants in his basement that he was able to grow those plants under the influence of scalar energy in the dark.
No direct light, right? It's not in the dark, right? No direct light.
Correct.
Wow.
So by channeling scalar energy through a wire into his potted plants in the basement, he was able to grow those plants. Now, again, it was devoid of any source of light. And that experiment proved, to me at least, that the animating force of photosynthesis is scalar energy. That starlight is responsible for plant life.
Well, right. And photosynthesis can be measured, right? So again, there's going to be this.
So now there's two explanations for photosynthesis, and I say that the primary energy of photosynthesis is scalar energy, whereas electromagnetic energy has a secondary effect. But the fact that he grew plants exclusively by scalar energy proves that you can grow plants by scalar energy.
Right. Well, secondary effect meaning too, like EMF can cause harm.
Yes.
And a lot of harm to people. That's why, again, like I said earlier, about places. What is this? Hold on. About places that have high EMF and how it affects, how it affects the spirituality, the spirits in the building and whatnot, how it affects you physically, mentally, psychologically, everything, detrimental to your health. And that Nadine is saying, what is
Optic energy? So Nadine is starting to study already, I can see. Optic energy was a term coined by the inventor Galen Hieronymus, Optic energy, which means scalar energy. And it's a neologism in which EL refers to electricity and optic refers to optical energy, or what he considered to be some type of visual energy. So eloptic energy was the term he used for scalar energy. It's out of vogue now, but it was popular 50 years ago.
Okay. Nadine's been trolling the site.
Yeah. She's doing her homework. She's doing her homework.
Very good.
We have more people.
I mean, there's a lot here. Yeah, and like this one here too. What is your ultimate vision for scalar energy in the landscape of global healthcare?
Galen Hieronymus was contacted by NASA, and Galen took the photographs of the Apollo 11 astronauts, and during the moonwalk, he was monitoring their biorhythms by way of their photograph. And what's very interesting, those astronauts showed a full chart of biorhythms, a full readout of biorhythms while they orbited the moon and while they were walking on the moon. And what was really telling is that he was able to make communication with these astronauts, even when the astronauts were on the dark side of the moon. Meaning what? NASA lost connection with the astronauts when the moon blocked, if you will, that radio signal. But
Right.
Galen Hieronymus was able to keep in touch with the astronauts while they were on the dark side of the moon, so to speak. Meaning that scalar energy was that instantaneous communication. You'll never use contact with anything by way of scalar energy. Whereas with electromagnetic energy, NASA lost communication with the astronauts when the moon blocked the signal.
It's kind of like when you go into a different room in your house and you lose signal for your cell phone.
Yeah. When you're driving and all of a sudden you drop your call and then it comes back in, and XM radio, satellite radio, you're driving and you.
Now imagine if our cell phones were powered by scalar energy, you would never lose a call.
Never. Right? Never. That's amazing.
Mary Jane asked, how recent of a picture does it have to be?
It doesn't matter because there's no time with scalar energy. The photograph could be 20, 30 years old. Doesn't matter.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
That's back when I looked good.
All right. So wait a minute. If, say, someone sends you a picture of them as a teenager and now they're maybe in their 70s, but they didn't develop a
photograph always pinpoints you in the immediate moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Regardless of the age of the photograph, it's always in the present moment that it's reporting.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild.
It's incredible. Right? It's a new science. This photograph might be 3-4 years old, but it reports my constitution now.
Yeah.
Not 3 or 4 years ago.
So now now say you get an influx today of a whole bunch of people wanting the 15-day free thing. How many, do you just sit there all day?
We miniaturize the photograph. We can miniaturize the photograph. Here's a collage just to give you an example.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
The instrument could easily work with 10 million people simultaneously.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see how my desire is to cure the world. I could work with 10, 20 million people a day.
Wow. That's high aspirations, that's for sure.
See, this is a passion. A man who has a drive to get things going.
Yeah. It definitely wants to help people. You can see that all over him, right? To have all these years dedicated to this science, and for what? You know what I mean? And if he's not even getting a paycheck from this right now, you know what I mean? That's just sincere dedication. And that is, that's what the future needs, is people like this working on things like this, those display. Because how many people just go, oh, I'm done. It's not working. I'm out. Right? Oh, you said no to me. I'm out. He didn't do that. Look at all the people that he cured because of the fact that he didn't walk out.
Because he was stubborn.
And hopefully I'm going to be on that list. Right? So I'm just at the beginning of my little...
you can't give up. You're right. You have to have that
and like you said,
that intention.
Yeah, Gina has a 15-day free trial, and anybody else who wants to sign up has a 15-day free trial. But it's not an instantaneous thing. It's like I'm going to have to go back to Reiki energy because that's what I deal with. Sometimes it's an instantaneous thing, but in small amounts. Sometimes you have to wait a little longer. So it may not happen on day 1, day 2, day 15, but it might happen on day 30 that you'll see one heck of a change. And to be like, why is it? And you'll have to, go back in your brain pattern to remember, hello, Scalar
Yeah.
Energy, and
Write
then you send Tom another message going, "Hey Tom,
Yeah.
guess what?"
Write it down. What happens every single day of your 15 days? You might want to prolong it after that, but write it down. Right? For me, right? I had the extra energy that I haven't had,
Mhm.
and my voice is holding out through this
She's
entire show.
she's not cracking.
Not at all.
So
It's
thank
not.
you, Tom.
It's
Thank you very
my
much.
voice. It's
Because
my voice.
she complains and complains and bitches and whines about no voice, even though I still think that she's got a sexy voice when she doesn't have what she thinks is her normal voice. But I love it. It makes so long. And here's my thing: so long as it makes somebody happy and it works, then I'm thinking of swear words for people who don't care and don't want to believe. That's your issue. That's people don't believe it, they don't care. That's their issue, not your issue. Gina sees a difference. Other people see a difference. I see the difference in her. Like I said, before every show we get together about 7:30 and we talk and we check and see, make sure we have all of our ducks in a row for the show. And she did not once say, "I have to go get something to drink for my throat." It's like, no, she
Yeah.
didn't do that. So it's like, oh, thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah. Right.
If nothing else, guys,
Right.
for right now. And I know that this is going to be more.
Gina, how long did you have this condition?
Oh, it's been a long time. It's been, oh my God, long time. Yeah. And seriously, I've been going through test after test after test after test. I finally just had the full belly scan where they said, I had a barium swallow that they said, oh, you have extreme acid reflux, right? And at first he was trying to take my gallbladder out. It's not my gallbladder, okay? So I had a nuclear test for that. Said, yeah, it's acting up, but not over the realm. It's in, like, they give you this range, like 20 to 80, and that's on the high end. However, it's not over that, not enough to take it out, right? So my doctor would have had me take it out. If I had gone to her doctor, they would have, and it would have been an unnecessary surgery, right? But I went to a different doctor and I said, listen, my pain's on my left side mostly, not over here. I'm having pains over here, but it's from my left side and my throat, and I lose my voice. And I have a show. I have a radio show. We have a TV show. I need a voice. It's important to me, you know. And I kept getting all these tests for this other side. And this one doctor said, no, you do not need your gallbladder out, but I would check this, this, and this, So it's like, okay, back to the drawing board, more tests. And now, after the barium swallow, they said, you have extreme acid reflux. After the full belly scan, the CAT scan, they said, you have extremely severe acid reflux. So like I have quadrupled meprazole and famotidine or something like that's added and whatnot, So all this stuff is added in there. Hi, Anthony. Oh, I love you. And it's like all this other stuff and diverticulosis, not otitis or whatever it is with the infection, not that. But I have the disease part of, a section of my colon on my left side where all my pain is, right? That I've been saying for
Wait a minute, am I sitting on yours?
so long. And it's been, what? Has it been almost a year that my voice has been like really messed up?
Yeah.
Right.
And I noticed that even when she overexerts herself.
Oh, yeah. I can kind of
she's got like 3 flights of stairs in her house. But so when she's running up and down the stairs, so that's bringing up, I'm sorry, but that brings up the acid reflux. It makes it bubble and breathe, so which affects the throat. So I have my unofficial opinion is that if this is going good, then this is going good. Everything falls into place. Everything's just
been, and it has been a long time.
And the only migraine you can't ever get rid of. Oh no, I'm a pain in it. Never mind.
Love you. But it is,
oh my gosh, it's already 10 o'clock.
Is it? Damn it. Sorry, excuse my language. But it is, it's a good thing. I mean, my voice is hanging in there. I do feel like I have more energy. I feel like I'm, like I can be more me, like I'm going away tomorrow, and usually I'm going, up north for the weekend, see my family, Mother's Day and all. And happy Mother's Day to everybody that is out there that's a mother, or, we love you. But I am going up there, and usually I fret about these things, and I'm not.
She hasn't told me she has to repack her bag 3 times. So I mean, you're also helping with the anxiety.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, right here, proof. This has only been a couple of days. I can't wait till the end of the 15th.
Yeah.
And see what happens after that.
Thank you. Well, that's a testimony. That's what it's all about. This is a new and emerging science, so we need people to speak up and share their testimony. Thank you.
Yeah. And Anthony, you should send your picture and your wife's picture in, and try this as well, because his wife, who I love dearly, goes through so much medical.
So in other words, you only keep Anthony around because you like his wife. We got it. Sorry, Anthony. Truth hurts.
No, Anthony is so sweet too. He's very God-fearing. He's a very sweet man. He's in the the paranormal community, and his wife is an angel, but she goes through so many things. She's been in and out of the hospital. So ill. I'm not going to get into any details. However, it would be beneficial, I think, to send the picture in. And Athena says, so grateful to join you lovely ladies on the Fox Den. Another wonderful show. Many blessings. I love you, Athena. You're just the best. All right. And you guys,
Mary Jane says she's having a heck of a time signing up. But that's probably because there's so many people doing it. Hang in there, get it done.
Yeah. Do it. Let me just put up that banner one more time here. I know we are at the end of our show here. Offering 15 days of free sessions, www.scalarlight.com. Sign up. It's free. And what do we always say, Mama?
If it's free, it's for me.
There you go. Right? But seriously, thank you. Thank you for the education.
Yeah,
what a great audience. What a great audience.
Really nice seeing you too, Tom.
Thanks again, Mama D. It's been a while.
It has been.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Hang with us just for a minute here, Tom. And we'll see you all next week. And we're going to have Sherry and Gaba. And that's going to be a very interesting show, too. All right. So we love you all. And ciao for now. Yeah, very interesting.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode in the Fox Den. We're here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and our Anchor venues. We would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, and please subscribe, share, and definitely hit the notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.